Hey, so I just wanted to get on here and share another ancestor message, message from spirit. And it's really centered around the importance of cutting the cords from your karmic family members. I often feel like I go through situations and experiences so I can share them with others. That's what I really feel called to do. And that's what I'm going to continue to do. I just have to be more consistent with it. But I feel that my ancestors has really opened my eyes to certain people I've been surrounded by my entire life, who who were karmics, and I didn't notice it beforehand, and how they were draining and affecting my energy and really blocking my pathway forward, blocking me from moving forward and growing in life. I was pouring out all of my energies into these people, which it's very, if you think about it, a lot of people who have a strong connection to spirit, to your ancestors, to the divine, oftentimes we are born into families, or we attract people who drain our energy because they don't have that connection themselves, because that connection is what replenishes us. And if people don't know how to connect to the divine, to their ancestors, to their internal guidance, then they're going to connect to people who can, so they can drain that energy, because that's how they move forward. That's how they can manifest things in their own lives, by draining the energy from others. And for me personally, I had certain family members who were doing that, to me, and I never saw it. I almost believed it was my role, in order to pour into these people, trying to help them see how I saw things, and not understanding that where they are currently, they just don't have that ability to do so. And they're depleting me. And I did not understand it until I was able to move myself away and notice how good I started to feel. So the message that, the ancestors wanted me to share, that I went through, is just the power and the importance of cutting those cords. And it doesn't have, you don't have to do anything like, I don't know, like, you don't have to sit there and evaluate every little detail of the people, where you come from, or the certain individuals who are affecting you. It's just good enough to know that they are affecting you, and to call in your ancestors. I call in my ancestors of war protection. And I would just visualize the person standing in front of me, and I have like this sword. It's not really a sword, I just don't know what it's called, but it's like similar to a sword. And I just imagine that it's like embedded with my ancestral energy, like that energy of war and protection. And I just cut the cords. I do it 9 times in a row as the person moves further back each time. And I've just noticed how effective that has been. And of course, it doesn't change overnight. Like, it's something like I have to still, even now, be consistent with. But I've noticed over time, I feel like my energy is returning to me, because when you cut those cords, the energy that you have, like those people were draining from you, it starts to be returned. And I feel so much better. And it's like, the more that I cut those cords, the more understanding I receive about, I'll just get more downloads from ancestors, from spirit, about why my family certain members of my family is the way that it is, and how generational curses is really passed down, and how it just blocks us, it weighs us down. And it also blocks our connection sometimes to our benevolent ancestors, like the really powerful ancestors who are like vibrating at a very high frequency. Sometimes they can't get through because of that dense energy that being surrounded by karmics, energy vampires, creates. They just can't get those messages through. And so it's just really important just to take note how you feel around certain individuals, in which, if you notice that your energy is starting to deplete, if you notice something ain't right, because sometimes it's not blatant. A lot of these people, they're really good at camouflaging their energy, so you don't see them for who and what they truly are. But if you just go to prayer, you ask your ancestors to reveal what is blocking you, and trusting that when they show these people to you for who they are, just cut the cords. It doesn't even have to be anything too drastic, right off the bat. It's just enough to know, like to finally be able to see these people and to start to take your power back by cutting cords. And that's what cord cutting is too. It's you reclaiming your power from these energy vampires so that you can move forward and that you can just exist in more peace. Because that's the main thing, being able to sit in peace and to connect with spirit and just know that everything is okay, and to go deeper and to be able to just grow in that knowing. Like that's what's really important. And oftentimes we can't do that when we're connected to, karmics, energy vampires. And it can be especially difficult when these people show up as, your family members, as people that you truly care about. But it's just important for you to know that in the long run, it's not just about the family that you see here in front of you, the family that you exist with today. You're doing this work in the behalf of your lineage. And it's just important for those of us who have that gift, who have that connection to spirit. It's just really time for us to reclaim our power so we can move forward on behalf of our lineage, so that these curses, these energies that's blocking us can finally just kind of cease to be. Because as I said, the reason that they're able to thrive is because they're draining it from those of us who have that connection to spirit. So it's time for us just to close that door and to let that energy just fade out. And you don't have to hold on to like resentment or anger as your family members, which, if you do feel those feelings are valid. Like, I'm not one to tell people like you shouldn't feel a certain way. I never want to tell anybody, because your feelings are your feelings and they're always valid. But it's important not to hang on to that anger. Because I was angry for a while. I was very angry once like spirit finally just revealed what was going on. Like, I was angry, but it was important because anger for me, it's like it's better to be angry than to just sit in a position of powerlessness and not do anything. Because with that anger, I was able to move forward. I was able to start to reclaim my power. And once I started to reclaim my power, I was able to move more so towards forgiveness and release. Because I understood that, they're just doing what they were taught to do. And they didn't have the ability or the knowledge or, I guess, the want to heal from certain things. And at the end of the day, even though it was hurtful, they made my connection to spirit much stronger. So at the end of the day, I'm very thankful to them still, because they caused me to go deeper within myself and to strengthen that connection to spirit, to strengthen that connection to my ancestors. And they led me on the path that I'm still on, which is just growing into that spirit that's within me, just really acknowledging that it's there and just learning what that means for me and how it's going to unfold in my life. So that's basically just the message, the importance of cutting the cords from karmics and reclaiming your power.